Greetings, friends. David Marks here. I've noticed that even many experienced Lightroom users do not know how to safely move, delete, or rename their photos using this powerful program. So in this video tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to move your images and folders around from within Lightroom Classic. Let me jump right into my demo catalog now, and let's get started. There are two ways that you can move any image from one folder to another using Lightroom Classic. The first method is to drag and drop. By drag and drop, I mean if I select this image by clicking on it once, and then I drag its thumbnail onto the name of any of the folders listed here in my Folders panel. When I let go of the left button on my mouse, then this dialog box will appear. When this message appears, Lightroom Classic is asking you to confirm that you are indeed wanting the program to move the original file, the file that this thumbnail represents, from one folder to another for you. This warning is not intended to scare you, but it's worth knowing that moving photos around is not something that we can instantly reverse using the Edit Undo command. Undo will not help you here, but this is no big deal. It's no big deal because there's nothing that stops you from moving an image from one folder to another and then moving that same image back again if you change your mind. Since I'm sure that I'm ready to move this file, I'm going to tap on the blue Move button to commit this change. As you can see, that file is now in this folder here. It used to be in this one. That was super easy, but I need to point out two very common frustrations. First, where you click when you're working with thumbnails here in Classic's grid view makes a world of difference. If you're using a two-button mouse, then a single click with the left mouse button will select an image here in Classic's Library Module grid view. A double click though, clicking that left button on your mouse twice fast tells Lightroom to do something different. A double click tells Lightroom that you want it to select this image and to automatically change from the grid view to the single image loop view mode as well. The difference between a single and double click can be really frustrating for beginners, and it can be equally frustrating if you're using a laptop's trackpad. But when it comes to moving photos around, there's an additional complexity. What really gets folks frustrated is when they try to move an image from one folder to another, but they accidentally drag from the wrong place. To move this image, you must drag from the picture in the middle of the thumbnail and not from the gray area that surrounds it. Let me show you what I mean. If I click and drag from the gray space from the frame here that surrounds this image, then nothing happens. I can try to drag again and again, but if I start the process by clicking on the thumbnail's frame, then Lightroom refuses to cooperate. Now that we have that common frustration out of the way, let me show you that there is a second way that you can move images from one folder to another. This second method is useful when you want to move an image into a brand new folder, meaning a folder that is not listed yet over here in the Library Modules folder panel. In this scenario, we can't just drag and drop. So this time, what I need to do is to select an image, or images plural. Next, I'm going to click on this little plus symbol here on the right side of the Folders panel. Now, I can choose either the Add folder or the Add subfolder commands. I'll pick the Add subfolder for this demo. A new dialog box appears at this point where I can give the folder that Classic is about to create for me a meaningful name. Finally, I can enable this little switch here, the one that says Include Selected Photos. Enabling this option tells Lightroom to create this new subfolder and then to move the currently selected images into the new folder as well. Bam, that was easy. And this command is really useful if you decide that creating additional folders or subfolders will help with your file organization system. So now that we have these skills under control, let's talk about how to move an entire folder full of images from one place to another. If you have a folder like this one, and you want to move it inside of some other folder, then once again, all that you need to do is to drag and drop. This time, the key is to drag the name of this folder over top the name of another. Once again, when we drop, we'll get this warning dialog where Classic wants to confirm that you indeed intend to move this folder around. Again, this warning comes up because we can't use the edit undo command to move this folder back, but you certainly can drag the same folder into another one or some other place if you change your mind. There's one other command that can be very helpful at this point when you're moving folders around. To find this command, I need to right-click on one of the upper level folders here in this panel. By upper level, I mean a folder that is not a subfolder. To find this command, be sure that you click on a folder that is not indented inside a bunch of others. When I right-click, a menu will appear. In this menu, there's an option that says Show or Hide Parent Folder. I'm going to use the Show Parent Folder command so that I can see more of the operating system folder structure that my computer is actually using. Now I can see the complete folder tree that I currently have at the operating system level. I can click on that upper level one, the Pictures folder, and then I can use a right click to bring out that flyout menu again. This time, I'm going to choose the Create Folder Inside Pictures command to tell Lightroom to build a new folder for me. I'll give this one a meaningful name. But this time, I'm going to disable that Include Selected Photos option. With this switch turned off, Lightroom will create a new folder for me, but it will not automatically move any of my images around. For this demo, that's fine, because now I can just drag and drop the folders that I want into this new one. Well, now you've seen all the tools that it takes to move photos or folders around using Lightroom Classic. Nothing that we have done so far is very difficult, but I must end this demo with a warning. I urge you not to go moving large blocks of files around unless you already have a good, solid, up-to-date backup. Although the odds of something going wrong during a move are low, if say the power were to go out while your Lightroom is moving thousands of images around your hard drive, then some of your precious photos could be lost. Bulk moves are nothing to fear, but this is an activity that only the foolhardy would begin without a robust, up-to-date backup. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you learned something today, then please hit the subscribe button and leave us a like or a comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next tutorial.